In 2009, CNN was awarded, in large part because of his contributions, the Peabody Award for its outstanding 2008 election coverage, of which Martin was a member of the best political team on television. Roland Martin has been named one of the top 50 political pundits by Daily Telegraph in the United Kingdom and has appeared on numerous times on a variety of American networks, as well as media outlets in Canada, Colombia, Italy, Australia, South Africa. From October 2005 to October 2008, he served as a radio talk show host for WVON AM in Chicago, first as a midday host and later as a morning drive host. He is the former executive editor and general manager of the Chicago Defender, the nation's most historic black newspaper. He is the former founding news editor for Savoy magazine under the team of New York-based Vanguard Media, and the former founding editor of BlackAmericaWeb.com. Mr. Martin previously served as the owner and publisher of Dallas-Fort Worth Heritage, a Christian monthly newspaper. He also has been working as a managing editor of the Houston Defender and the Dallas Weekly, which led to a number of local, state, and national journalism awards. Mr. Martin is a life member of the National Association of Black Journalists and is a member of the historic Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I had to let that go. He is a 1987 graduate of Jack Yates High School Management School of Communications, and in 1991 a graduate of Texas A&M University, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in journalism. In May 2008, Mr. Martin received his master's degree in Christian Communications from Louisiana Baptist University. He has been awarded numerous honorary degrees from the likes of Florida Memorial University, University of Maryland, and University College, and the Lemoyne-Owen College. He's married to Reverend Jackie Hood Martin, author of Fulfilled, The Art and Joy of Balanced Living. They reside in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to present to most and introduce to some our keynote speaker, my brother, Roland Martin.
Doing good? Alright, folks, looking good. So let me do this here. I gotta be real black. So
I know that's right.
Somebody y'all not supposed to be here with. Don't blame me because you in the picture. Been here. Glad to see all of you. Glad to be back in Albany. I was here a few years ago speaking to the dormitory folks talking about financing. That was great. Good to see so many familiar faces as well. Let me shout out Congresswoman Yvette Clark. I always call her. She always get my phone calls late or early in the morning, new time Jonah. I'm like, wake up! Need you on the radio. So glad to see her as well. And so many folks. Where all the Alpha brothers at? Alright. You played something else, it ain't my fault you couldn't get in. You're gonna get a shout out. Say it again. What fraternity you in? You in the Kappa? I can tell. You know, first of all, let me explain something to you. One, y'all can never out-talk an Alpha. Two, I get paid to talk. Three, I got the microphone. And I get you Kappas confused because y'all dress like Deltas. Him different. Don't start. Don't start. I will finish. You know, Alpha's your daddy. like there's another captain said, ooh, back up on my brother, please, back up on my brother. Like, it's all good, it's all good. We love, matter of fact, I was in New Orleans yesterday, NBA All-Star Saturday, and it was a brother with the captain. And he had a couple things to say, and I had to shut it up real quick. So we always play the free stuff, and it's all good. We have good fun. But you're gonna learn next time, don't say nothing until after I leave the stage. You're gonna learn. But let me start here. First of all, where is the brother who actually said, where the words lift their voices in? Was I the only one saying, did he just ask for the word to lift every voice and sing? Was I the only one who caught that? It's some things nobody black should ever say. And that is, where are the words to lift their voice and sing? You can say where the words to. Not lift every voice and sing. And then he had to put the glasses on. The folks at my table said, don't say nothing. I was like, oh, I can't let that one go. It would not be black of me to allow that one to go. I had to say something. Right. I'm sorry, I'm being bad. Let me first of all also thank all of you who are viewers of TV One's News One Now, the only daily morning show in America that speaks to our issues. And the thing I made clear is that on News One Now, we don't apologize for being black.
Right.
The reason this show is important is because other networks, every now and then, they cover the issues that we care about. But we focus on them every single day. And for us, it matters. It matters for us to be able to represent you, to speak for you. And not only that, as a brother came up to me and he said, you know, I really appreciate it. And this is an example of what happens, why black-owned media and minority-owned media matters. Because I'm not interested in asking somebody else, can you please tell our story?
Right.
And the brother came up to me and he said, you know, I really appreciate the interview you did with Dr. Hada Nicole Green. This was a brilliant physicist, a sister, Morehouse School of Medicine, and she is raising about $30 million for cancer research. And she announced a project on our network, and that video, out of all the videos that I've done, stories that we've done, that video alone has been seen more than 10 million times on Facebook. And CNN would not have booked her on the show. MSNBC would not have booked her, ABC or CBS. But because we have a black network, we allow her to be able to tell her story about this brilliant cancer research. And she has been able to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars as a result. That's what happens when you have your own network. And so I just felt that was critically important for us to say, because again, I think a lot of times we get ourselves confused and we are hoping somebody else covers our stuff. Let me get right to, first of all, let me thank folks who invited me, my alpha brother, Michael Blake, gave me a call. Michael said, he's supposed to speak on the 19th. I said, Mike, that's All-Star Weekend. And I said, where? He said, Albany. I said, in February? Hell, I lived in Chicago 6 years. I don't go back in Chicago until May. But praise the Lord, we had some sun today, about 40 degrees, so I was pleased. So I appreciate that as well. Let me get to what I want to talk about. Several people have approached me and they said, Brother Martin, what's the focus of your speech? I said, well, that's a good question, considering I don't write speeches. And they said, well, what you gonna do? I said, talk. And I prefer to allow God to be God, and for God to speak, to let me know what it is I need to focus on. And I'm a music lover, and I was in my hotel room, and a song came into my mind, and I put that song on that really encapsulates what I want to talk about tonight. How many of y'all have heard the song by the Dixie Chicks, I'm Not Ready to Make Nice? The lyrics came in my head. I'm not ready to make nice. I'm not ready to back down. I'm still mad as hell. And I don't have time to go round and round and round. So let me speak from the perspective, because anytime we this many black people and Latinos, you got to tag your text. Otherwise, folks don't know what you're talking about. And the title of this is called, I'm Not Ready to Make Nice. It has been an interesting couple of months. I have encountered people who are literally depressed by the state of our national politics. I have encountered people who have been so despondent because of what happened in November. But what has been amazing to me is when I have seen people and they have told me, we have never ever experienced anything like this before. And anybody who tells me we have never experienced anything like this before tells me that's somebody who clearly has had a bad education.
Right. Your eyes closed.
Because if you want to understand where America is today in 2017, then you might need to go back to 1876. Because to understand America in 2017, you have to think back to 1876 when that was a presidential election and it was a tight election. There were allegations of corruption, and all of a sudden, Republicans and Democrats began to joust, and a deal was cut. And the deal was, we will allow Republican Hayes to become president if you pull the federal troops out of the last 3 southern states where they had a president. The Democrats then said, don't worry, we're going to leave the black folks alone. We're not going to do anything to them. We'll play nice. And the Republicans said, okay, we'll go along with it. And the moment the federal troops left those last 3 southern states, Southern Democrats went in, threw all the black folks out of the legislatures, and Jim Crow began. See, we went through a period of 12 years of Reconstruction. Arguably the greatest period in the history of America for black people.
It really was.
The 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, Reconstruction Amendments were passed. In the South, African Americans elected the state legislature. And then all of a sudden they begin to pass laws changing economic hierarchy, dividing all sense of power. But America, being America, said, well, we about tired of doing all that stuff. We've done enough for those people. Civil Rights Act 1866, Civil Rights Act of 1875. That very Civil Rights Act of 1875 declared unconstitutional in 1883. We did not see another Civil Rights Act until 1957. So after 12 years of Reconstruction, all of a sudden, a compromise was cut after an election Jim Crow starts. We go through late 1800s, early 1900s, mid 1900s, World War I, World War II, and then all of a sudden we come upon Emmett Till being killed August 28, 1955, and all of a sudden the beginning of the Black Freedom Movement. That period lasts about 13 years. Civil Rights Act of 64, Voting Rights Act of 65, Fair Housing Act of 68, MLK killed April 4, 1968, Poor People's Campaign. Then all of a sudden there was an election in 1968. Candidate runs on a campaign of law and order. Sounds quite familiar. A candidate runs on a campaign invoking a Southern strategy, splitting whites and blacks. Sounds familiar. That candidate gets elected. And all of a sudden America says, we're good. We're good. We did enough for y'all. You got several new laws, now everything is good. To understand that period and understand it today, read Dr. King's book, Chaos or Community, Where Do We Go From Here? He says in that very book, it did not cost America much to allow us to sit in a hotel room. Did not cost America much to allow us to sit in parks. Didn't cost America much to allow us to swim in swimming pools. He said, but now the real question, what will America pay to right the economic wrongs that have existed over the last 2 centuries? He said, then not only that, even our white allies will not stand with us because they will say, you've gotten enough. So if you really examine this election, what we have been encountering since 2009 has really been, in this nation, white fear. When I say white fear, see, I don't get caught up in the game of you're a racist and you're a bigot, because the discussion no longer is about the very issue. It's simply about whether you're a racist or not a racist. When I say white fear, it's because America is changing. This caucus did not look the way it did 30, 40 years ago. You had a smaller number of members. America is changing. To understand why this is strange to some folks, 2009, a question was asked by few. Are you optimistic about the future of America for your children? Every racial group in America, more than a majority, said they were optimistic about the future of America for their children, except one, white Americans. September, Pew did another survey, and the question was asked, are you optimistic about the future of America for the next 10 years economically? Here's what's amazing. African Americans, who sit at the bottom economically in America, had the highest optimism about the future of America at 58%. Latinos, second from the bottom economically, had the second highest optimism. White Americans, sitting at the top economically, had the lowest optimism at 41%. Now, if you look at the Brandeis University study, if whites have a 13-to-1 wealth gap with black folks and 10-to-1 with Latinos, you would think white America would be more optimistic about the future of America than us. Well, see, that's not the case, because the real issue you have here is that in large part, we have folks in this country who do not want to see this room look the way it looks. They do not want to see diverse communities being able to grow and thrive. No, when you hear "Make America Great Again," what that really means is, can we please have the 1950s back? When you hear "Take our country back," what that means is somebody else got it, we want our stuff back. And so what has happened is we've had folks say, well, we should give them a chance. We should see what's offered. Yes, we should play nice. Let me be as clear as possible. Ain't no way in hell am I going to play nice with somebody who wants to go back to the 1950s. I don't care if they sound good. I don't care if they invite a few black folks to the White House. I don't care if they just figured out Frederick Douglass's last name has 2 S's. I have no interest whatsoever in playing nice. Now, I told some folks, I said, let me be clear with y'all. This ain't the generation that's gonna kneel and pray.
Okay.
I said, now, we might love Jesus like they did before. Ain't no way in hell there's gonna be some men in, I'm just letting y'all know. The reason this is important is because we had better stop playing games, because folks who do not want to see a changed America are not playing games. When you see massive voter suppression across this country, that's not playing games. When you see the scaling back of resources for communities most affected by poverty, that's not playing games. When you see the changes when it comes to the issue of immigration, not just affecting folks from Muslim countries, not just Latinos, but folks who are coming from the Caribbean and the West Indies, and from Africa, and the Bahamas, and also people from Bermuda. Do understand, we all have a stake in this. See, because you can't say you love Harry Belafonte and Sidney Poitier without realizing they are the children of immigrants. And so we better understand that this is not a time to play nice. But let me also be real clear with y'all. I'm also not trying to play nice with the Democratic Party that continues to want black and Latinos to be political sharecroppers. Let me be real clear. I don't want to hear any Democrat talk about income inequality when Democrats practice income inequality or the refusal to hire black consultants and black coaches and black coaches. I don't want to hear any Democrat talking about what Republicans are not doing or when it comes to hiring when they themselves have placed the glass ceiling and refused to hire black Latinos. Oh, I'm real glad Senator Schumer came out here and announced before I spoke. Now, let me be clear. Let me be real clear. I will do a roll call. I appreciate Senator Schumer speaking before me and announcing the Rooney Rule. Because the Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies, the National Urban League and others, they have been pressing Democrats on that very issue because it makes no sense that Democrats depend on black and Hispanic votes and you have Republicans in the Senate with more black high-level staffers than any Democrat. Minority caucus in the country, that means New York State, 2 U.S. senators should have a staff that looks like this. Because to understand why this matters,
trying to
this
tell
thing
you.
goes
Keep
beyond
sitting down.
just the
You preaching
hiring
on
of a few staffers. Because the very folks who are hired as staffers are the same folks who are then hired in corporate America to run various offices. So then when they leave politics and go into corporate America, now they're running offices. Now they have the capacity to begin to hire more people. And so if you never hire us in political offices, if we never even go into corporate America, we never can expand the opportunities in corporate America. This thing gets even deeper. When you limit our opportunities now, what you also do is prevent us from going up the economic ladder, which means that when our kids go to college, they then have to leave with more debt than their white counterparts. Then what it means is that when our kids leave college with debt, decide to buy a home, we don't have the capacity to give our kids the down payment for their home. Now compared to their white counterpart, they do. So now all of a sudden, even though our children are doing better academically, and so-called when it comes to jobs, they're now mired in debt, which means their children have the exact same thing. So when you limit economic opportunities today, you actually impact our children's children, and so we stay in the exact same position we are in now. So all I'm saying is, to any Democrat, if you want to come to these dinners, if you want to get out vote, if you want to shake hands and take pictures, you damn well better hire some black people. Just so y'all understand, I've made it perfectly clear to anybody who wins the chair of the Democratic National Committee, you will not ignore black people, and if you do, I will rain holy hell on you every single day. Somebody might be saying, well, why are you so serious about this? I'm serious about this because Frederick Douglass challenged presidents. Ivy Wells challenged presidents. William Trotter challenged presidents. Robert Abbott challenged presidents. John Sinstack, Ethel Payne, Alice Dunnigan, Lerone Bennett, Simeon Booker, folks who are in the black press, they challenged presidents, they challenge senators, they challenge governors. I cannot give folks a free ride if they have a D in front of their name. That for me stands for damn it. You better step up. See, a lot of us playing too cute in this room. Let me be clear. Y'all wanted somebody to make you feel good. If y'all wanted somebody to make you comfortable, you should have called my wife. She's an ordained minister. She would pray with you. She would lay hands on you. Because God gave her a spirit of comfort. God put in me a spirit of discomfort.
Okay.
I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm not here to make you look good. But I'm here to challenge as to whether or not you are truly committed to our people, or are you committed to politics? See, I made it clear I'm not ready to make nice. Because what's happening outside of this building is massive trauma in our community. This is not just about Chicago. It's not just about Baltimore. We literally have millions of our people who say there is no hope. They see no opportunity. They see no way out. They see that we have more black, Latino elected officials today than we ever have had in history. But then they also see our health stats, our education stats, our economic stats, and they say something is amiss. And I think it's because what often happens is we grow comfortable with what we've done so far, as opposed to constantly pushing the envelope to say